Hey guys, it's Janie. Welcome back to the Bookworms Buddy. It is time for a craft with me. Okay, welcome back guys. Welcome new subscribers. Thanks to everybody for your continued support. Today we're going to make a folio. And for this tutorial, you're going to need 3 envelopes, whatever size you want them to be. And we're going to need scrapbook paper. I've already cut my papers and stuff down to what I'm going to be using for this. Also, we're going to be using a scoreboard. So there's mine. Okay, and of course you're going to need glue. So this is going to be a trifold envelope folio. Okay, and I bought a nice pack of envelopes. They're all different sizes, and I like the squared closures instead of the triangular ones. I don't know, I just feel like it works better on a folio. Okay, now the first thing we're going to do here with these before we glue is on the flappy part of your envelope, we're going to score whatever size you want, because it's going to be like, it's going to serve as a spine. So I usually go maybe 1/8 of an inch. I'm not sure. I never pay attention to what it says on here. So you're going to put this on your scoreboard. Okay, and you might have to line it up to actually score on the spot you want it to, but mine seems to be okay. I think it's in the right spot. It's difficult, you guys, with envelopes to get the proper score line. So I am going to score here, and you just make sure you have it lined up when you score, and it's going to serve as a spine so that you have a little bit of room to work with that. Okay, and I'm going to get all of them scored. So let's make sure it's lined up. Like I said, it's not easy with an envelope, because, and then mine keeps running off the end. Be careful of that too, but we're going to strengthen those too. Okay, and the third one. And we're going to score this one. I figured out that they're pretty important to have the spine in there. You can put so much more stuff in your folio if there is a spine on it. The very first one I ever did, I learned from Gail over at Gail Agostinelli, and I actually put it in my first of the year journal. I know it's a mess, you guys, but it's right here. And what I use mine for is for our gratitude jar. All year long we have a gratitude jar. So instead of negative things, you put in something good that has happened. And we go from January to December, and then on New Year's Eve, we read them, and then I save them, and that's where I put them for 22. There's so much negative things that happen throughout a year. It's just nicer to have, you know, something good to look back on. Now this year, we're not going to be able to do it New Year's Eve because my daughter and son-in-law will not be back till the 6th. So we will be doing it late, but it's better late than never. Okay, back to what we're doing here. So we got our score lines, and we're going to try to finagle those into a spine. So get your fold. Now, if you don't have a scoreboard, you can fold those yourself too, if you want. So as long as you can keep it straight, because I've seen people do it with rulers and what have you. I'm going to get my bone folder here and really crease that fold. And then we'll crease this normal fold as well. So now you're going to have this nice little spine here, so that it opens it up a little bit and you'll be able to use it. Now these are not really practical to put into a journal because it is added bulk. Now that we've got that spine going on in there, it's going to be a little bulkier than what you would put on your journal. Now you could put it on the very back cover or the very front cover of your journal. That would probably be okay. If you don't plan on putting anything else in your journal, it would go in there okay, but I made one to put into a journal and then realized, oh, I put that spine on there, and now it's going to be extra bulk, so I didn't end up putting it in there. So let's get all of our new creases folded. Looks like I got them pretty straight. Going to go here, and what we're going to do is have little strips of the cardstock that I'm using, and it's going to go on these little spines right here, and it really makes them a lot stronger. Okay, so there's that. Now the next thing we're going to do is one flap is going to be glued onto the back of another envelope. Now remember, when you're gluing, do not glue across your spine. You're going to glue up to that line that you just scored, like this, okay? And my envelopes aren't even envelopes. This one looks a little bit bigger than that one, but it's not so much that it's noticeable. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac, because first of all, Fabri-Tac is a lot more forgiving than the art glitter glue. So we're going to go with the Fabri-Tac. Let's move these. I've already cut all of my pieces, so we can have this a little shorter. So now what we're going to glue is the flap, and you're going to keep the glue inside your spine line. Okay, so let's get our glue on there and stay within the spine. You don't need to moisten your seal or anything because it's going to be glued. Okay. Now we're going to line this up with my spine line. And see if that's going to flop over. Yep. And make sure you get it in this position you want it, because we do not want to go over that. Okay, and so you're going to have something like this where it's going to be glued on. Yeah, look at how uneven this envelope is. It's not the same as the other one. And we're going to do this. Okay, so you're going to have something like this. Okay, and then this will just close over. So you'll have a spine on this end and a spine on that end. And it's, trust me, it's going to really let you use your folio. Okay, so there's all three of those are glued. Okay, so now we are going to add our scrapbook paper to this. I am not really huge on decoupage. I just feel like I just need to do it a little bit more to get, more used to that. But I didn't like my first experience with that. So I'm using scrapbook paper, and I'm using this. I've already got them all cut. I got some gold foiled words and then gold foiled flowers print. And this came from Paper Studio from Hobby Lobby, and it was called Moody Florals. So that's the ones I chose for. This is going to be for our gratitude jar this year, so I really want to get it done. So let's just get started on this. Now I want the word part to be on the inside, and then the floral parts will be on the outside. So I'm going to cover all three envelopes. So we're going to start on the back side, I think. I think we'll start on the back side. And again, remember, do not go over your spine line when you're putting these on. So we're going to go with these. And once again, we are going to use Fabri-Tac. So you can either glue this now or you can glue this, whatever is going to be the easiest. I'm just going to go ahead and glue my paper. We're going to get that on there, make sure the edges is covered the most. And it really is not coming out of there very good. You don't need, you know, glops and glops of glue, but if you're using like this is cardstock scrapbook paper, so it's not going to show through. But if you're using the thinner paper, then you might want to watch how much glue, and you might want to spread it out. You might have to trim later, so we're going to put that on. And let's see how much I have to trim. Oh, yes, I do have to trim. Because I marked it on the paper, and, you know, your pencil doesn't get to the exact spot because, you know, whatever. I used it, the envelope, to trace my papers out instead of measuring. I don't like to measure, so I usually don't. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it now, if I can find my, oh, there they are, the scissors. And we're just going to trim along that edge carefully. You don't want to cut your envelope. I can usually cut okay when my paper's against something, but to cut a straight line, forget it. Okay, it looks like the bottom might need a, it's not so bad that I need to trim that. Okay. Let's get the next one on. Now we're going to trim. Ooh, sorry about that, guys. I got right up into the camera, didn't it? Let's see if we can get this trimmed now. Nice and easy. Don't want to cut my envelope. Okay. So there is the outside done. And like I said, we're going to strengthen these up. We're going to put a little bit of little strips of our paper in there and see if we can't make that look better. Or, I mean, if you don't want to do that, you can always ink them. I myself would rather put the strips in there because I think it just kind of pulls it together. So we'll have to put one there, and then here at this part. Okay, so let's go to the inside now. Okay, so my insides are going to be these gold foiled words, and these are going to go on each of these. And I might go ahead and trim these off too to that line. Now what you can do is you can make the cutouts for this if you want to. If I do that, then I put something on the inside too. But for this one, I am just going to, they're just going to be glued all the way up to here. And I am going to cut some thumb holes in each one of these. So let me get these trimmed up and get the thumb holes in there, and then we will continue on. Okay, I got them trimmed up, but I decided to do the thumb holes on camera. So make sure my words are all facing up the right way. So for the thumb holes, what I do is I just eyeball it, you guys. And I can't do all three of these together because the punch does not handle three of them very well. And they're going to be separated, so if one is a little off, it'll be okay. That looks about right. And it's not very deep. I don't need it to be very deep. Make sure I have the right side. Okay, let's throw those away. Okay, so now we got that. Now on this we're going to ink because I don't want this little white edge here. When I get done, I'll ink all of the outside, so that won't matter. Okay, I am using ground espresso. It's one of my new favorites. So we're going to ink these up. You don't gotta ink the other side of it. You're just getting these edges. Yeah, so my kiddos will be home. Well, they're leaving the 6th, so it'll be very late on the 6th that they get home. And then maybe midweek or so, we can actually do our gratitude jar. It really is something that is very helpful through the year, for one. If you're having a bad year, and if you take time to write down something good that happened, it helps you make it through days better. And then when you sit down and you read them all, then, oh, I did that one. Then it just really helps you to reflect and be even more thankful. Because I always say there's always something to be thankful for. Whatever happens, there's always something that you can say thank you for. Okay, you got those inked. Now, like I said, you can cut this pattern out, but I'm going to choose to just go all the way up to just the spine line. You don't want to go over it, otherwise it's not going to fold. Okay. And I'm going to get one of my wipes here and clean off the top of this bottle because it's got stuff hanging on it, probably whatever my last project was. Okay, hopefully that'll be better now. Alright, so we're not gluing this, we're gluing this, because if you glue all this, you're going to stick it to your envelope, and you don't want to do that. So we're going up here to where it starts, this little piece here. And then we're gluing, are we in frame? We're gluing all the way up to that one. And then along this edge. And then we're going to glue in the center. Okay, and now we're going to get this positioned right. So we stay past that spine line. Don't want to go across it. Okay, so there's the first one. And we're also going to put some stuff here in the center. They're going to be thin enough strips that we can get them to fit in there. Now you can also go ahead and ink up the thumb hole, or you can put, I might put little strips in there, but I don't know. I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is. But you can ink it up. You can put, you know, other paper in there if you don't like the look of that. Or, you know, you can just go over it like this and just put a little bit of ink right there, you know, just to take the white away. Back is all glued on. So now you've got these pockets here, if I can get my finger in there. And you get 3 huge pockets, and it starts to get so sturdy, you guys. And then we got a third pocket. Just got to make sure that glue didn't escape and close it up. Okay, and now we got that one. Okay, so now for this. I discovered that it's so much easier for me to do these by gluing it, or just gluing it onto the flap and then cutting it. Instead of trying to like trace it out, because I suck at cutting is the big thing. So I found out that it's easier for me to just put it on. So we're going to use this piece for here. And I'm just going to glue it up to that spine line. And then I'll just cut it. So let's glue this. Don't go over the spine line with your glue. Just fill that center up. Yeah, I pretty heavy on the glue sometimes. Okay. So we're going to line this up. I like that. And I am going to use this side now and cut this out. So we're going to go across the top first. At least this way I'm not going to cut a hole in anything. Hope I'm in frame. Barely. Okay. Now we're going to cut down these sides. And I also noticed too that sometimes these flaps aren't even. They're a little wonky. Okay, there's that one. And now for this one. Okay, so then you got your inside flap is covered. And now for the outside flap. I am going to use this with a little bit of the flower and a little bit of the words. So I got to figure out how I'm going to be able to cut this to get what I want on there, because I really want the flowers on there. I know how I'll do that. I'm going to give this a little trim and I will be right back. Okay, I came to my senses. If I would have done it that way, it would have been upside down. So I need to do it this way because this is the flap that closes. So it's not a big deal. I'm just going to glue it right here. Sometimes my brain isn't working properly in the morning, even though it is, oh, it's almost 12:05, so that's not really an excuse, is it? Got just a little bit on the spine line. We're going to take that off. Okay. And now we're going to, I don't like that big blob. Now we're going to line this up to the spine line. Seal it down. I'm glad I didn't do that because then I would not have been happy with it being upside down when it closed. Because I sat there and I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. It'll be upside down. Okay, so now we're going to cut this one. Across the back. We're going to cut up here. Oh, get in the right spot. Still left a little bit behind. There we go. And this one. Okay, oops. Step this away. Keep my work area clean. Okay, let's move these. And there we have it. So now it'll be facing upright when this closes the whole way. It will be facing the right direction. I'm so glad that I caught myself. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ink everything. Okay, there we go, guys. Now, I don't just stop and call it good. Like I said, I'm going to get some strips, which I did not cut, and we're going to put them in the creases. Okay, guys. I cut my little strips. They're just little tiny, probably 1/8 of an inch strips. I got the floral ones for the inside and the words for the outside. Now, like I said, you don't have to do this. You can leave it as it is. I just like it to look more finished. You could also like use washi tape before you cover it. You could put washi tape on there because it's bendable, but you'll have to add like glue to make sure it stays in place. So for this one, I'm going to use the Art Glitter Glue. And we're going to just put a little bit of glue down these pieces, because it will squish out. And let's get my first flower piece here. And we're going to just put that right in the center of where we just glued. And it's going to give you that more finished look. Yeah, you're going to see some white there if you don't get it like inked up very good, but that'll be all right. And there we go. Now, oh, I just completely didn't ink this at all. Sorry guys, I hope I'm not getting sick. My sister-in-law who lives with us, she got sick with a cold, and now my husband has it. I do not want to get it, but I took my apple cider vinegar, we got some gummies, and that always seems to help me out. So before I started feeling the effects, I went ahead and took it. So hopefully it has stopped it in its tracks. It does it every time. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing again. This time with our gold foiled words, which I don't have much of the words on these strips, but that's okay. That one might need a trim. It looked a little long. Okay, and there's our strips on. And I'm going to trim off the ones that are hanging over. I'm going to need my little ones for this. That one, and then I think this one too. Okay. Oh, no. It did not get it. There we go. All right. There's the overhang. And if you want to, you can just go back over with your ink again if you don't like. Okay. Now, at this point, you can stop if you want to. I don't. I add pockets. So I'm going to get some pockets and put on here. Okay, so I got my pockets. I'm going to put some thumb holes in these as well. Oops. Can't tell now. This is just all scribbly. I guess it doesn't really matter. There's one. Two. Three. That thumb hole was a little bit bigger than the other ones. That's okay. And now I'm going to ink these up. I know, guys, it's a lot of inking. Now, you don't have to do these kind of pockets. You could do like side tucks for the sides of the pages if you wanted to. Is that the one I just did? Oh, no. Yes, it was. But I like these ones, right? This pocket, or this style pocket for these. But I like the side tucks too, or the side pockets. So that's really your choice, whatever you want to do. Maybe I should have just put one on there. I'm probably not going to really use these little pockets, and it's going to be for our gratitude jar, but maybe there's a little something I want to say and stick in the pockets. We'll see. Okay, so these I'm going to put one of them on each envelope like that. And now if you're making this for somebody, you can put these pockets on there and you can just stuff them with maybe extras left over from your, making the journal for somebody. Sorry guys, I needed a drink. or like stickers or what have you. I like to include a lot of stuff from what I buy for a journal, and I don't like to have a lot of extra stuff, especially if it's themed, because maybe I won't, you know, use that stuff again. So if I can include it in a journal, we're plugged up, then I'm going to stick them in pockets and stuff, because, you know, even if you can't put this in a journal, you can send it along with the journal. It's just a little extra, you know. I like to surprise people. Let them have a little something extra. Not always, but a lot of times. I guess it depends on what I'm feeling at the time. Okay, we're going to try and get that on as even as possible. And this one. Ouch. Did it feel good? Just a little bit. A little bit of glue to get you there. I've just really come to adore making folios, whatever kind they are. Now, had I made this without the spines, then it could have just fit right, you know, been glued right into a journal. But I already have a journal that I'm going to use for this next year, and it's one that I got from Bobby in, well, no, it was the last one that she sent to me. It was the less bulky of all of them, because we've done 3 journal swaps. The last one she surprised me with, and it's not as bulky. It's got nice space in it, so this will lay in there nicely. Okay, let's fold this up. And now we got to talk about what we're going to do here. And I think what I'm going to do is actually do the Velcro dots. I mean, a lot of people have the folios and they, you know, they use this and they wrap the ribbon around it. But I'm going to go with the Velcro dots. And yes, we're going to eyeball it again. So I'm going to take one of these. It doesn't matter which one you decide on. And we're going to find the center spot to this. And I'm going to see if I can do it the best that I can. And then you're going to take your other one, the one that's going to stick to you, and that's going to just lay on top of that. If you can get that in there on there evenly. Okay, and then you just close it and push it down and let that set for a minute. Let's put these back. Yeah, I got this big pack from Amazon, I think. I'm not sure how many was in it though, but I'm still careful when I take it off. And there you go. And then you can further decorate it. I'm not probably going to do any more decorations to this one because it's just going to go in my personal journal, and it's going to be for, you know, all of our gratitude jar thanks. But there you have it, you guys. That is the tri-fold folio. And they're just really easy to make. And you can store a lot of stuff in one of these. So, yeah, I hope you guys liked this tutorial and you were able to follow along. If you have any questions, please share them down in the comments below, and I will get to all of them as soon as I can. But thanks, guys, for staying tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.